I think one of the most frustrating things dealing with people is when their words and their behavior are living in two separate realities. And that's what we're talking about today. People love to say they value communication. They say they value honesty, maturity, consistency, transparency. But the second communication requires discomfort, accountability, or emotional effort, suddenly all of that's lost. And what confuses me sometimes is I genuinely communicate even when I don't feel like it. If I'm overwhelmed, I communicate. If I'm busy, I communicate. Emotionally drained, feeling guilty, unsure, anxious, and exhausted, you guessed it, I still communicate. Maybe not perfectly, maybe not instantly, but I do not let people sit in confusion, wondering where they stand with me. And because I operate that way, it becomes extremely noticeable when others do not. I've dealt with plenty of situations where someone was fully engaged one day, communicating consistently, showing interest, showing effort, and then suddenly they go distant. No explanation, no conversation, no clarity, just a complete shift in vibe and energy. And ouch, talk about emotional whiplash. That, my friends, is what is exhausting as fuck. Not because of spiraling, not because of fear, not because of emotional instability. It's because human beings naturally notice contradictions. If someone says, I value openness, but then avoids difficult conversations, well, that right there is a contradiction. If they say, I care about consistency, however, their behavior consistently changes day to day based on their mood, contradiction. Then they say, I respect communication, but disappear instead of having an adult conversation. Yup, motherfucking contradiction. And unfortunately, a lot of emotionally immature folks get manipulated into thinking their clarity is just overthinking. Nope. Sometimes you're not overthinking. Sometimes you're accurately observing inconsistency. And there is a huge difference. Also, I've realized that this category exists over all categories of people. Different ages, different backgrounds, different relationship types. Friends, dating, families, coworkers, acquaintances. A lot of people like the idea of mature communication more than actually practicing it. Because mature communication requires discomfort tolerance. It requires honesty, and honesty is inconvenient. It requires consistency when emotions fluctuate. And a lot of people have simply not developed those skills. But here's what I've learned. Other people's inconsistency is not permission for me to abandon my own integrity. I am still going to communicate clearly. I am still going to be direct. I am still going to say what I mean and mean what I say. Not because everyone deserves unlimited access to me, because I refuse to be emotionally immature just because somebody else is. Because protecting your peace doesn't mean becoming cold, avoidant, or emotionally unavailable. It means learning not to internalize behavior that has nothing to do with you. And that part is what really changed my life. Because once I stopped personalizing every inconsistency, I started seeing people clearly. Some people are inconsistent because they're overwhelmed. Some because they avoid discomfort. Some because they lack emotional regulation. Some because they enjoy connection until accountability enters the room. Some just because they're assholes. But regardless of the reason, it's not your job to carry the emotional confusion that they create. And I think more people need to hear this. You are allowed to expect adult communication. You are allowed to expect consistency. You are allowed to step back from people whose words and actions don't align. That is not being dramatic. That's discernment. At this point in my life, I pay attention to patterns instead of excuses. Because for me, clarity is peaceful. Because I would rather stand in my integrity than continuously try and shrink myself to make sense of senseless communicators. I love you all. Stay golden. And thank you if you made it to the end. There's many more to come. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.